Hey, it's Julian Gordon here, and today I want to share with you a ritual that I've been doing for almost 5 years straight, every single day, and it has literally transformed my life. Literally, in less than 10 to 20 minutes a day, this one ritual will transform the way you move through your life every single day. And that ritual is meditation. You know, the easiest way I've come up with to describe meditation and what it can do for you if you are not practicing it at this moment in time, it is thinking of a snow globe. You know those snow globes where you had a scene of Christmas inside, and when you shake it up, right, you can't even see the scene because all the snow is fluttering around on the inside. But if you literally just put the snow globe down on a table and you let it sit, what happens? All of the snow falls to the bottom, and now you can see the scene that is inside the snow globe. The same is true for your mind. Your mind has all these thoughts. I think about 70,000 thoughts floating around in it every single day. And even when you wake up, your mind may start racing. For those of you who are anxious, have anxiety, have long to-do lists, your mind is always thinking of things. And meditation does exactly what you do with the snow globe. It allows you to put it down, right? And let the thoughts settle, and allows you to see clearly in terms of what you need to be doing and how you need to be moving in the upcoming day. All right. So, for those of you who are Christian, I know that the concept or the practice of meditation has been demonized in many ways. And I want to let you know that if you go to BibleGateway.com or BibleHub.com and you type in meditate or meditation, you'll find that those words are in the Bible 20 times, and they aren't used in any negative context. In fact, most of those representations are actually in Psalms, all right? So one of my favorite is, be still and know that I am God. That is in Psalm 46:10. Then we have Jesus in the Gospels say, take no thought in Matthew 6:25. Take no thought. What does that mean? It means do not worry, to put all the cares and worries of tomorrow aside and just be still and know that I am God. So I want to say that the goal of meditation is actually nothing. I mean that. The goal of meditation is nothing. You're trying to get to a space of mental nothingness so that you can hear God, so you can put your to-do list to the side, all your thoughts or worry about the future or any shame that you've had in the past. It's to get to a space of nothingness, right? The beauty of meditation, and the reason I don't have a divine download worksheet for you today, is because the only tool you need for meditation is your breath. All you're doing is reconnecting with your breath. In Genesis 2:7, it says, and the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. We are being breathed through by something, and that something is what I call God. And literally, we can't stop our breathing even if we tried, with the exception of suicide. So we can't stop our breath. So that means that something is actually breathing through us. And so the reason you don't need a divine download worksheet for this particular teaching, because the only tool you need to meditate is your breath. The easiest way to get back to God is through your breath, and that is the practice of meditation. In Psalms 1, it starts off by saying, blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law doth he what? Meditate day and night. Meditate day and night. And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of the water, and bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. And so for me, meditation is a way to connect with God using the simplest tool that we have and that we always have access to, which is our breath. Now, if you want to expand this idea of meditation, you can even think of the Sabbath, or God resting on the seventh day of creation and you taking the Sabbath in your own life, as a form of meditation. It is a space of rest, right? To say that my spirit controls my mind, which controls my body. And the spirit is now saying, mind and body, I need you to be still. Mind and body, I need you to be still. I am in control. I run this, right? I am king or lord of these lower dimensions and lower domains. And so I need you to be still right now, because we want direct connection with God. Okay? So again, we don't meditate to get anything. Right? The goal of meditation is actually nothing. And the goal is just to be. We are human beings. We are not human doings and we are not human havings. We are human beings. And so before you get into your to-do list, right, and start focusing on everything that you need to have to live this life, this is an opportunity for you to connect with your beingness. And a lot of us run past that and we just end up being human doings and human havings. Okay? So it is like a Sabbath within your day. So let's say you don't take Sabbath. You don't take time in your week to just do nothing and be still and just connect with God, put work aside. Meditation is a way to take Sabbath within the context of your day. It's like a pit stop in NASCAR. Yes, I know you have a lot of things to do in your life. Your life is busy. Your schedule is full. Right? But even in NASCAR, when they're in the Indy 500 and they're about to do 500 laps, the pit stop is so important. It is a moment of rest. It is a moment of recharge so that they can actually run the race that they are supposed to. And so this is the beauty of meditation, and we're applying that same principle into our life. Okay? Again, you, the true you, which is your spirit, okay? How do you know that you're a spirit? The reason you know that you're a spirit is because when you talk about yourself, what do you say? This is my body. Right? It is my body. You don't say I am the body. You say my body. So there is something that is not the body that is possessing the body. Just like with your car, you say that's my car, right? You are not the car. You are the one who possesses the car, right? And you are the one that controls the car. And so you are the spirit, right? That is your true essence. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. And the spirit is telling the mind and the body to be still and sit like a dog. Yes, sometimes you have to do that. You have to let the mind and body know what this hierarchy is. Spirit controls the mind, and the mind controls the body. All right. So now I want to take a moment to talk about the different types of meditation. All right. There's many different types, and depending on your intention, you can use one or the other. But I encourage you to build your practice starting with one. So the easiest one to begin with, and actually it's not that easy. It sounds easy, but it's actually probably one of the hardest, and that is simply the silent meditation. That is the snow globe. That is just being still for 5 to 10 minutes to simply clear your mind. Now, I do this every day, and every day is not perfect. I don't always get to a higher state of consciousness and a higher state of frequency through my meditation. Sometimes my to-do list and all the worldly things that I have to do dominate, and I can't get past my to-do list. I can't get past that emotion from yesterday or that worry for tomorrow, and I miss the mark. I miss the mark some days. But that is the easiest meditation to start with, though it is actually one of the hardest meditations to do, which is just closing your eyes. And in fact, you don't even have to close your eyes. You just have to be comfortable. You want to get into a place of comfort, right? But it is a silent meditation, and you're simply trying to empty the mind, all right? So that's the first type, is silent. Now, you can also have a guided meditation. And there, if you type in guided meditation on YouTube, you'll find some with hand pans. That's one of my favorite instruments that I'm learning to play. It's a beautiful melodic sound and very meditative sound. And so you can actually do one to just like an instrumental that takes you to a higher state of consciousness. Or you can have somebody speaking and guiding you. You may find a guided meditation where somebody is taking you down a river and you are observing yourself go down that river, or elevating to up a mountain. So there's actually spoken guided meditation. The other one, but I really like starting off with silence because you don't need anything else outside of your breath, right? Now, if you want to add a layer onto it, the next layer is the third type, right? Is a mantra or prayer. Right? This is where you are in your head or verbally evoking something. You're saying something, right? So one of my favorite prayers, and I think is the most powerful prayer in the world, it's 3 words, and it is, be me God. And so you're just sitting there and you're just thinking to yourself, be me God, be me God, be me God. Of course, I wouldn't be saying that. I would just be thinking it in my head. And that would be my internal mantra. Another one is 10 words. It is, please guide me, God, thy will be done. Thank you. Please guide me, God, thy will be done. Thank you. I use that one when I'm stepping into my day and I want direction. I'm not sure how I should use this life force energy and this breath that is inside of me. And I want God to guide me and direct me. And so I use that one when I want direction, right? Now, There is another type of meditation, right? So we have silence, we have guided, we have mantra or prayer. But then you can also meditate with your eyes open. And typically, when we do an eyes open meditation, we want to find something off in the distance in the room and we want to focus on that particular thing. Some people like to use a candle because of the flickering, and they just observe that candle and they lock in on that thing to a point where nothing else really exists in the room. They're fully present on that particular spot or that particular thing, right? I don't use that one often, but I have done it and it is very powerful. And then finally, there is a word based meditation. And so let's say you're dealing with something in your life or you want to grow in a particular area. You could meditate on one word. Pick a word. Let's say your peace has been disrupted and you want to meditate on this idea of peace and you want to get back into that frequency of peace. You can just hold that in as your word that you want to meditate on. And usually what I find when I do that is that I get divine downloads about that thing when I'm in a moment of stillness with it, right? Another word might be forgiveness. So like say somebody hurt you. You may spend a whole week or a whole month meditating just on the idea of forgiveness. Or another word could be abundance or prosperity. You can meditate on one word. What having a word does is it keeps your mind focused, because for some people meditating to get to nothingness is too scary. It's too spacious in a way, and they'd rather have some constraints. And so having a single word like peace, forgiveness, abundance, prosperity can help you with meditating. All right. Now I want to take a moment to talk about building your practice. And I want you to think about building your practice as 1 minute at a time, right? 1 minute at a time. And so typically when I start my practice, let's say I fall off, I typically want to start with 3 minutes. Start with 3 minutes. So I'm going to wake up tomorrow and I'm going to start with just 3 minutes. And you can set a phone timer. Eventually you'll get to a place where you get into your meditation and you don't need a timer. You come out when you feel ready to come out. But as you're building your practice, perhaps having a timer will be helpful for you. And so I start with 3 minutes. And then if it's Monday and I start with 3 minutes, then on Tuesday, I go to 4 minutes. And then on Wednesday, I go to 5 minutes. And then on Thursday, I go to 6 minutes. Now, if Friday comes, right, and I don't show up on Friday, let's say I had a flight or something happened and I didn't meditate, my last point of success was 6 minutes. So I don't go back to 3. I don't go back to 0 and say I give up. All I do is I go backwards to my last point of success, which was 6 minutes. So on Saturday, I do 6 minutes, and then on Sunday, 7, and then I go up and up until I get to 10 or 15, whatever your goal is. And then you stay at that high point consistently for as long as you need to. And again, if you fall off while you're at 10 or 15, then what do? The day you get back on, you just go back to 9. Or you can go back to 10 since you've been doing it consistently. So this is how you build up your practice 1 minute at a time. Now, there are also other ways. I like to meditate at the beginning of my day. Like I wake up and it's the first thing I do. I sit up in my bed. Don't lay down because you can fall back asleep, but be comfortable. And I just sit up in my bed. There's no particular stance you need. You don't have to have your hands up. You don't have to have your hands down. I just sit up in my bed, right? And I typically sit on my hands just so that they're not trying to grab onto anything, right? I typically sit on my hands actually, and I just go into a place of stillness. I typically do the nothingness meditation where it's just complete silence and I'm trying to empty my mind because I'm a visionary, I'm a big thinker, and ideas are running through my head all the time. I run an organization and my to-do list is long, right? So all these things come up, and so I just want to quiet my mind before the day starts. I want to put my spirit in control of my mind, in control of my body. And I'll do another video on GRWM, and get ready with me. I'll do another video on my other morning rituals that complement my meditation, right? But if you miss the morning, right, and you want your meditation practice to still be going forward, there's other ways and other places to meditate. Like you could go into the bathroom stall at your job, right? And you can literally meditate in there. Yep. Go in there, lock the door. Hopefully it doesn't smell too bad. And you can meditate in there, right? Or when you pull into the garage, when you get home, before you open the front door of your house, right? Or the garage door, you can just stay in the car and have a moment of meditation before you enter, because especially for those of you who have kids, you might enter into a space of chaos, right? And we don't want that. If we are going to enter into chaos, we want to enter into chaos with peace, right? But I again prefer to do it right when I wake up, so I make sure that it's the first thing that I do. The first thing I do is I connect with God. We plug in our cell phones to stay connected to the electricity, or we stay connected to the Wi-Fi all the time with our cell phones. But now we want to do this with our cellular body, right? We want to connect with God as frequently as possible. So you can even do a meditation in the morning and squeeze in these other meditations throughout the day in these little pockets of time that you have to close your eyes and just clear your mind. And so I really hope that this encourages you to get started on meditating. I've given you 5 different types of meditation that you can do. I've given you different places that you can do your meditation. We're going to start to build our practice 1 minute at a time, starting with 3 minutes. And then within a week, you can get up to 10 minutes if you add one every single day. And for those of you who are in a Christian context and have had questions about meditation, meditation is in the Bible. It's in there 20 times, mostly in Psalms, but also quoted by and talked about by Jesus. And it's really about going in the closet of your own mind, being still, and connecting with God. So this is how I start my day. This is one of my greatest success strategies, and I hope that it blesses you as you build your practice. All right. So I'll see you in another episode of Divine Download soon. Again, there's no worksheet for this particular video because the only tool you need to meditate is your breath. All right. Much love, y'all. Wishing you purpose, prosperity, and property. Peace.